Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't posted in a while, but all my stuff is broken except my phone. So it will be a bit before they're repaired. Before I get into the video, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. So, let's get into this. I think the pyro archon from most of the leaks will definitely be a buffer and an energy sufficient sub and main DPS from off and on field. What I think her skill is like, I think it is like Hu Tao, but instead it summons a phoenix that damages the pyro archon but slowly does a team heal, like Kuki Shinobu, but this time with a team heal. The real reason why I say it is like Hu Tao is that like into an all damage type buff. But in Hu Tao's case, it is into attack. But in the pyro archon's case, it is an all damage type buff. But I don't have a main stat. So let's just say it converts HP into an all damage type increase, like Furina's burst. But the big caveat is this damage buff is only for herself. And it is not team-wide like Furina's burst yet. I'll explain in a burst section how it becomes team-wide. So anyway guys, if you like the video, please subscribe. I need to fix all my stuff. But real quick, down in the comments, please tell me. What characters are you going for what characters are you going for in the new Natlin update? How much primos do you think you're gonna get? And tell me, do you think your luck is garbage? Anyway, back to the vid. So, her burst is a giant hit of AoE pyro damage, which summons a dragon armor and transforms her claymore attacks to become pyro slashes, like slashes from the claws of her armor. And this is where the all damage buff comes into effect. If you use your skill before the burst and you come into the burst effect, the skill will give its all damage buff to the whole team party-wide. And vice versa if you use the burst then skill. The most important part of this is that 1, the Phoenix scales off of HP. 2, the Phoenix becomes a dragon inside of the burst state. And when you switch out, the dragon armor will just be a summon, will become like a summon, which does frenzy attacks and a large AoE around itself. Or around where it was summoned. It will stay still as soon as you change from her. So the pyro archon could be one side of them place. So she could be on one side of the abyss hall, and then she could be on the other side. And then as soon as you swapped out to say into Furina or something, and you moved into the next character, it will still be attacking there. So say something spawned there, you could be dealing with 2 at a time. Anyway, the duration of the dragon armor is 20 seconds, and if you swap out, the duration is how much was left. So if you swap out as soon as it activates, it's still going to be 20 seconds the dragon armor is going to be attacking. The dragon armor doesn't move, and if you swap out, the phoenix that turned into a dragon will stay as a dragon attacking with you though. And unlike a summon, even though the armor, when you swap out, is a summon, the dragon is unfortunately not a summon. It's like Xingqiu, but this time it works on anything. If you do a normal attack, use a skill, or any type of damage, or if you do a charged attack, so it still works on shields, the dragon will attack. Same with the phoenix. So it's a follow-up attack rather than a summoned attack. But the armor, when you swap out, is a summon. It just doesn't move. So kind of like Yaimiko's turrets. Anyway, here's what I think her first ascension passive should be. If we're going off of what I should think it is. Just to be honest, she is going to be really OP. So get into this. Ascension 1 passive. After using a skill, as well as healing the whole team, it makes a shield based off her main stat, which in our case is HP, of course. Other than this, when in the shield, it gives a pyro damage buff to her and her pyro teammates, or the whole team. So this could work well, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this basically if Zhang Ling C6. I wanted to make it Zhang Ling C6 and if Bennett C6 with a little bit of Farina sprinkled in and Yambiko came together. That's what I think the pyro archon could be. Anyway, onto a second ascension passive. You know, the one you get second, not your fourth ascension one. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's second or third, but I'm assuming it's second. Anyway, second ascension passive, it's not gonna be like an exploration or stamina passive. It's gonna be like Arlecchino, a damage passive. Gives a buff to a phoenix based off of the damage detected when the party is taking damage, while it increased the duration of the skill. But when the dragon summon is out, or the dragon armor, and when the both dragon armor and the dragon summon are out, the burst duration gets increased by 1 second based on the healing. So anytime you get healed inside her burst duration, in the first 5 seconds of it, you can get 1 second extra duration. The cooldown on this is 1 second. So you should be able to get like 4 or 5 seconds extra duration, basically. So I did want to make her pair really well with Farina. So you could still run some great Farina teams with her. Also, guys, another thing is I wanted the bell to actually work on her. So a little bit farther, I reworked the bell a bit. Just by making the shield party-wide and other stuff. Anyway, now here's for a final ascension passive, or fourth ascension passive. When the pyro archon has a shield, including the shield her passive creates, she'll increase the shield strength by 39% of her max HP. And depending on how much damage it could have absorbed before the shield buff, it turns into an elemental resistance shred. It turns into an elemental resistance shred of 30% of the shield's strength. Or really, we have to make it weaker, so 5% of the shield strength. Which, nah. Actually, yeah, 5% of the shield strength. Just to make sure it's not too busted. If you're using Zhongli, it can still be busted, though. Because, that'll be worked around 5%. 10%. Or 30% if you want to go crazy. And once the shield ends, if the shield has been buffed by her, it will just do physical damage in a big AoE once the shield is broken, after time. So maybe you Zhongli lovers may have an actual reason to allow the shield to expire without reinstating it. Or quickly allow it to expire, or actually no. After buffing the shield, depending on what element the shield was, it will do damage based off the element. So say it was an electro shield, it would do electro damage. Say it was an animal shield, it would do animal damage, even though we don't have an animal shielder. And say it was a geo shield, it would do geo damage. So I don't know, you can do more crystallizers. And about reaction stopping, I don't know. She will probably have no reaction stuff on her burst, like Zhang Ling. So she can keep on doing reactions in every hit. Finally, her ascension passive is, crit rate. She'll ascend with crit rate of the base crit rate of most crit rate ascending people. Most crit rate ascending 5 stars. And now here's the bell category, because I want the bell to work on her. So 1, the bell at Archon increases the damage by 25%. The shield strength is now 30% of HP. The duration of shields is from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. The buff it gives is now party-wide, and it is no longer 45 seconds. It is no longer 45 seconds. It's as soon as the shield breaks, it can be as soon as the shield breaks, 3 seconds after the shield breaks, 3 seconds after the shield expires or breaks, you can re-put it. So say you took lots of damage and the shield broke immediately, 3 seconds you put it, or the shield went over time, it would thing. And that's why all it will get past. Also, because it's no longer like that, if we did keep it at 45 seconds, at refinement 5, it would just go down to 10 seconds then. Not even 10 seconds. Let's leave it at like 4 seconds or something. Anyway, her signature weapon is crit damage based. Crit percent, probably going to be something really high like Redstone Thrasher or Red Horn. So like 88 crit damage or higher. It has 20% inside its kit, like its effect is 20% HP. So similar to like Nilu's one. 20% HP, but really it's just a really, really strong version of the 5-star. It's just a 5-star really strong version of the bell, which does more. But because of Natlan's character's gimmick, their gimmick is called Night Spirit. So all of these effects get heavily increased if you're into the Night Spirit state. This video was so very long, 11 minutes for me to say all of this paragraph, and I did go off track. So please sub. It was very, very long. After video stuff. After the vid, I want to say the damage bonus of a skill only comes when Night Spirit is half or more. So at half, it gives a quarter of the buff, and at max, it gives the full buff. And burst buff, the buff you get from burst is not restricted and is not Night Spirit based. By having max Night Spirit will buff the dragon's damage, the buff you got from turning the Phoenix into a dragon and giving it team-wide does not change with Night Spirit.